It's time for Mount Vernon Rams baseball on WMIX, on your radio at AM 940 and online at mywithersradio.com. Rams baseball is presented by the official voice of the Mount Vernon Rams, Banterra Bank. Banking with local style. The Mount Vernon Rams on WMIX are also sponsored in part by Ford Square and King City Chrysler. You can count on us, Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to Personal Banking. State Farm Insurance Agent Tony Wilt. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Second Chance Auto. Good Samaritan Regional Health Center. Raising a hospital. Raising the bar. Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon. Rend Lake College. Visit your virtual counselor at rlc.edu. And also by the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois, Heartland Accounting, All Stars and Stitches, Bean Insurance, Central Christian Church, and People's National Bank. It's time to join Chris Hugo and Danny Zerwinski in the 94 Sports Mobile Studios for Mount Vernon Rams baseball. The Rend Lake College pregame show starts now.
And good afternoon from Monroe County, Waterloo High School, where the Mount Vernon Rams prepare to take on the Waterloo Bulldogs to rematch for the 2011 Class 3A Sectional Championship. And what a rematch we shall have. Chris Hugo here with you this afternoon on your Rend Lake College pregame show. Danny Zerwinski, of course, is on assignment today. He's not making the trip here to beautiful Waterloo High School, a campus that I believe is in its fourth school year here in Waterloo. A beautiful campus, baseball diamond right across from the softball field, right across the road. In fact, you can look back over your shoulder if you're sitting from my perspective behind home plate, back over your right shoulder, and see the softball game across the street. That is between Waterloo and O'Fallon. But here in baseball today, it's Mount Vernon. It's Waterloo, and it's coming up here in just a moment. Rend Lake College, of course, has been your vehicle to a brighter future for over 40 years. Check out their over 100 degree and certificate programs available to you online at rlc.edu. Rend Lake College, of course, can save you thousands on your post-secondary education. Again, Chris Hugo here with you. Danny Zerwinski is on assignment today. We told you this is a rematch of last year's Sectional Championship game. That took place at Spray Field in Centralia last June, as the baseball seasons go into June now. The Rams fell in that one to these Waterloo Bulldogs behind Garrett Schlecht, who, of course, is now in the Cubs organization as he signed with them over the summer. He is no longer with them, of course, due to graduation and that signing his professional career. So the Rams, meanwhile, will look at a new-look Waterloo team. Didn't lose very many seniors, still return a lot of talent off the team to finish in third place in Class 3A 1 year ago, having won the Super at GCS after having won the sectional at Centralia. So a very talented team in Waterloo. Of course, your Mount Vernon Rams are 4-0 on the year. They have a 3-2 victory over Salem. They defeated Pinckneyville last week 11-1. Got a road win on Thursday last week against Chinook Memorial, winning that one 9-3 or thereabouts. Then winning yesterday against Triad 4-1. Makes them 4-0 on the year. Waterloo Bulldogs come in. This is their first game on the year. We'll tell you who else they may play this week, of course. But we need to slip in a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more about the Waterloo Bulldogs and the Mount Vernon Rams. It's baseball action from Monroe County here on WMIX and mywithersradio.com. This is Mount Vernon Rams baseball on WMIX.
Stick a reminder on your phone. Jot it down on the calendar. Or tie a string on your finger. Don't miss the Saturday Sports Show every week after the 8 o'clock news on AM 940 and mywithersradio.com. Scores, guests, content, networking, knowledge, the occasional argument, yada, yada, yada. We do it all. You might say we're a little versatile. It's the Saturday Sports Show on WMIX and mywithersradio.com, courtesy of Crossroads Community Hospital.
Life can be very complicated. You need to simplify, streamline, and save time wherever you can. Life just got simpler at People's National Bank. Now, get your monthly account statement online at peoplesnationalbank.com. If you're looking for a convenient, faster, and safer way to receive your monthly bank account statement, sign up for online statements available through People's Online Internet Banking. The next time you're online, go to peoplesnationalbank.com and simplify your life. You deserve it. People's National Bank, member FDIC.
This is Chase Landers with Landers Collision Centers. Our new Mount Vernon location is bigger and better than ever, allowing us to be the best at repairing your ride and offering premium detailing. We're fully equipped to handle your vehicle and get it back on the road faster and like it rolled off the showroom floor. Landers Collision Centers believes in maintaining the highest quality repairs in the collision repair industry. We also believe in making sure your insurance claim is handled quickly and even give you a car to drive while we restore yours. Now, we're also equipped to offer everyday premium detailing. We'll restore that showroom shine and that new car smell. That's right. We'll be more than happy to clean up your ride and get it ready for any occasion. Any vehicle that comes to Landers with over $2,500 in damages is entitled to 2 absolutely free details per year, with an opportunity to keep our work looking spectacular as long as you own your vehicle. This is Chase Landers with Landers Collision Centers in Mount Vernon. Big or small, Landers fixes and details them all. Call us at 1-888-LANDERS. Whenever you need us, that's 1-888-LANDERS.
This is Mike Reese. You're listening to the Rams on WMIX.
And welcome back to your Ridley College pregame show, WMIX online at myweathersradio.com. The Mount Vernon Rams on the road today against the Waterloo Bulldogs. A rematch of last year's sectional championship game and a rematch of a game that also took place in the regular season this same day a year ago. But Mount Vernon lost to Waterloo 12-11 in 7 innings. So that went the full distance. Rams actually led that one. Going into the top of the 7th, gave up some runs to the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs came away the victors 1 year ago. Talking more about Waterloo, of course, we did talk about Garrett Schlecht, but also here, head coach Mark Vogel, who finished 33-4 a year ago, the team finishing in 3rd place. Expect some great things. As some returning pitching, great depth on the pitching staff. Of course, Alex Wittenauer, DJ Dillenberger, and Cole Schaefer all comprise the top 3 in the rotation for Coach Vogel. So interesting to see what Waterloo comes in with here as they start their year. They'll be on the road tomorrow at Trenton as they'll take on the Westland Warriors in a road game in western Clinton County. The Rams will take tomorrow off, come back on Saturday as they'll travel to Mattoon for a doubleheader. We'll have those games for you as well on WMIX, right here online at myweathersradio.com as well, as the Rams try to complete this week with a record of 7-0. 4-0 coming in. Again, we told you about the scores from throughout the season. Rams JV team got a big win over Triad as well, as they are now 3-1 to start the year. We'll tell you a little bit about the starting lineups coming up here in just a moment, presented by Central Christian Church. First, to remind you that Ridley College, the summer classes, summer 2012 semester will be starting here real soon. Now is the time to register for your courses. Give them a call or log on to rlc.edu, see what's available in the summer semester at RLC. And don't forget, coming in April, you'll be able to register for your fall semester courses. That'll be coming to you midway through April. Stay tuned to WMIX and Withers Broadcasting Stations, of course, as you'll hear those messages from Ridley College. Pre-game show rolls on. The Mount Vernon Rams again 4-0 on the year. Haven't played any conference teams yet. I believe we'll see some conference games coming at you in the next couple of weeks. The Rams, meanwhile, after Mattoon on Saturday, they'll travel to Pinson on Monday to take on the Rangers. Then on Tuesday, there'll be the Flaming Arts coming to town to take on the Rams, Effingham, and then plenty of action coming their way as the Rams play every day next week, but Saturday. That game against Harrisburg no longer going to take place at the moment. That'll be rescheduled. But no Mount Vernon Harrisburg matchup on Saturday. We'll get you that info as soon as we have it. Don't forget, you can like us on Facebook, where you can stay up to date to all things WMIX Sports, Facebook.com/WMIX Sports, and you can follow us and stay up to date on Twitter. That is at 94 Sports, Twitter.com/94 Sports. You won't want to miss the opportunity for you there. Watching infield practice, beautiful facility they have here in Waterloo down the line. Looks to be about 315, not marked in center field. Can't fathom it's anything further than about 350, 360 max with the 315 dimensions down the lines. But not marked here. Beautiful facilities they have. Because we've come here many times in basketball. I've seen this high school 2 times this campus. Rams, of course, sweeping them in basketball. But baseball, a different story. Mississippi Valley, a very good baseball conference. As the Rams are looking to roll 2-0 against the MVC this year, or 3-0 now, as they already have wins over Civic, Memorial, and Triad, and that came yesterday. Of course, the Rams will see Waterloo possibly in a regional matchup as well, so this one is important for the postseason. The Rams will come over here in the Waterloo Regional, along with the Marion Wildcats, the Carbondale Terriers, and the Mascoutah Indians. Kind of a unique 3A regional, as we told you yesterday, due to the fact that Althoff and Salem both dropped down to Class 2A for boys baseball in the 4-class system. Left some holes in various places, and due to the schools that applied and gained acceptance as far as hosting postseason, the Waterloo Regional will contain the Mount Vernon Rams and a portion of the South 7 as they battle Mascoutah and Waterloo for regional crowns. Where does Centralia go? They go to Highland, where they will also have the Highland Bulldogs, Triad Knights, East St. Louis Flyers, and Cahokia Comanches in a regional. So that regional now broken up. Salem, of course, has to go to a 2A regional, as will Althoff. It'll be interesting to see how those play out throughout the year. Rams will be the visitors on the scoreboard today. They'll be dressed in their only black uniforms with orange trim and orange numerics trimmed in white. Triad initially was going to wear their black, saw what was coming, and decided to go in their orange uniforms today with black numerics, trimmed in white. It's the Rams and the Bulldogs is coming to you in just a moment, but first we need to get to know your Central Christian Church batting order. For the Mount Vernon Rams, the lead off is Zach Jones, the shortstop. Center fielder Landon Thomas bats second. Shane Saunders bats third place third. Grant Garrett in the cleanup spot today. He's your catcher. Brock Fulkerson is the pitcher. He will not bat. Colin Young will bat in his spot. I don't know why I wrote down Brock. I know darn well the rotation, the platoon there between catcher and DH. So Colin Young, your designated hitter. Pat Bradford bats sixth and out in left field. Trevor Flota bats seventh at first base. Your second baseman, Matt Williams, will bat eighth. And Clayton Reeves, the Mount Vernon Rams, will round out the batting order as he is in right field. So plays 9, bats 9 here for the Mount Vernon Rams. We'll get to know your Waterloo defense here in just a moment as Vogel and Holloway, your two coaches, will meet with the umpires at home plate. And we look to get started. Supposed to start at 4:15. Might start just a little bit earlier than that. Of course, the team's 4:13 now. Teams will have to take the field, so we'll be right around that 4:15 start time. Rumors of a snafu with the buses today. Just a mix-up with the drivers. The drivers were able to switch buses, so nobody went to the wrong place, and both teams, I assume the Lady Rams also, got to their destinations on time, as the Lady Rams are at Cowden today to take on the Apple Knockers. Apple Knockers lost 3 seniors last year at graduation, and a team that made another tough run, but we, of course, remember their state championship successes just a couple of years ago. Didn't quite get that far last year, but many expect good things out of the Apple Knockers on a year-to-year basis. So a good test for the Mount Vernon Lady Rams here on Hump Day as they travel down to Union County to take on Compton. Chris Hugo here with you. Danny Zerwinski does not make the trip today. He is on assignment back at home, where he will probably handle a lot of the scoreboard updates tonight on Facebook, or the scoreboard update, I should say, facebook.com/WMIX Sports or twitter.com/94Sports. The umpires and the coaches will discuss a few things here before we get started. 79 degrees will be your first pitch temperature unless it dips a degree here between now and then. Mostly cloudy skies with winds out of the south-southeast about 21 miles per hour. Ominous-looking skies, but nothing really to worry about. It's nothing precipitous showing up on the radar. Just a 10% chance of precipitation from now until about 7 o'clock. So we'll see how this plays out today. And we, of course, are prepared here as we have our tarps over our equipment. Didn't bring the table out today, just one chair behind the backstop. Plenty of power back here for everybody, and we're going to enjoy some great baseball action. It's two traditional 3A powers, the Mount Vernon Rams and the Waterloo Bulldogs, both orange and black by trade, as we await to get started. Let's see, about 14 minutes past the hour now. Here on WMIX and online at MyWithersRadio.com. We are glad to have you with us. We'll get started here in just a bit as they are already underway. On the softball diamond behind us, Waterloo and O'Fallon getting one in today in 3A, 4A softball action. And we are about ready to go from Waterloo. I have some Bob Carpenter facts for you today, of course, as we left those out yesterday on accident. We can't have a baseball game without some Bob Carpenter trivia. The rest of the week, we'll see what happens with precipitation, as the Mount Vernon Lady Rams will welcome the Hamilton County Lady Foxes tomorrow in softball action at Lincoln Park. 4:15 airtime for you here on WMIX. Again, we will take Friday off, and then on Saturday we will head to Mattoon as the Rams take on the Green Wave in a baseball doubleheader. The JV will play at Brennan Klein Field, as I understand, in JV action, barring any precipitation that might hinder this one. Of course, we will take a look at your defense now for Waterloo. Beltman, Ruff, Klein in the outfield, left to right. It will be Hamilton, Wetnauer, Snodgrass, and Schaefer, third to first in the infield. Campbell will be behind the plate, and Dillenberger, the lefty, DJ Dillenberger, will be your pitcher on the hill today for the Bulldogs. They finished 33-4 a year ago en route to a third-place trophy. This is their first game of the year. They have a busy week this week, as they will travel to Trenton tomorrow to battle the Westland Warriors. That should be a dandy between the 2A power and the 3A Waterloo Bulldogs. Tim Holloway will make his emergence to the third base box. Quinn McClure will take position at the first base. Actually, he did not make the trip. Tommy Fulkerson will coach. We'll have to check on that, of course. Certainly hope that everything is okay with Coach McClure, with all going on there. Dillenberger's going to get some warm-up pitches. Zach Jones will get us started. The lefty will dig in against the lefty. First pitch time will be around 4:16, so we'll see what time actually the first pitch is thrown. We went an hour and 39 yesterday. We went 2:10 against Civic. Went about an hour and 20 against Pinckneyville, and I neglected to write it down against Salem. Some quick battles for the Rams already this year. We'll see how quick or not so quick this one ends up today as Jones will stand in to battle Dillenberger. Center fielder shading somewhat towards right field as we're ready to get underway. It'll be a 4:17 first pitch according to my clock. And here it comes, and that's going to register a ball low and away to the lefty Jones. So 1-0 to get us started. As Jones stand in, had a pretty good day yesterday, defensively, of course. And now the next pitch crosses the outside to the left-handed Jones. We're all even at 1 ball and 1 strike. The starting line today, of course, is always presented by Central Christian Church. Log on to the newscentral.com for service times and sermon information. As Jones gets a piece of the 1-1, sends that towards left center field. The wind may get a hold of that. And I hate to give you a bad call, but that one went under the fence. Couldn't tell if it went under or over from my perspective, but that'll be a double. Thought it might have gotten over from my vantage point, but again, I'm sitting behind the fence, behind the backstop. It'll be a leadoff double for Zach. So after an 0-3 day yesterday, as the infield umpire is actually going to go check out the situation. See what happened here. We're going to say it went over and not under and not over. And the umpire retrieves the baseball. So it'll stand as a leadoff double for Jones off a 1-1 pitch. Landon Thomas will step in. With an RBI chance, top of the first, no scores. The Rams getting started here from Waterloo. Rams baseball is presented by Banterra Bank. Lead off the season with the Banterra Bank free checking account. Banterra Bank, banking with local style, member FDIC. As we'll wait for the umpire to come back. Working solo, you don't really want as many hesitations as you have here, but be that as it may, we'll play on. Lefty-lefty matchup yet again as the Rams send up 2 lefties, followed by a righty, and righty. We'll start with 2 left-handers and then 7 right-handers. Here comes the pitch on the way inside corner to Thomas. And it'll be 0-1 for the Rams center fielder who has a great cannon out there. He patrols the real estate center field. 0-1 now to Thomas as Dillenberger gets set out of the stretch. Here's the left-hander offers here. Here it comes. That's going to catch across the plate beautifully. And route to the outside corner on the breaking pitch, and it's 0-2 to Thomas. Plenty of stuff to read about on our Facebook page, facebook.com/WMIX Sports, or twitter.com/94 Sports. Here comes the next one. That's going to get away. Great scoop and save by the catcher Campbell. That was in the dirt, missed. It's 1-2 now to Landon Thomas. LT will look down at third base coach Tim Holloway. Get some signs, and we're ready for battle. Here comes the 2-1-2. Ooh. Probably could have been rung up as a backwards K, but instead must have been missed inside, and the count's even unofficially. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2's coming. That's going to miss high. Counts full unofficially. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Landon Thomas as he'll stand back in the box. As the lefty has Zach Jones aboard second base. Runner in scoring position, an RBI chance here, top 1. Nobody out. 3-2's on the way, and that's going to miss high. So that'll be a walk to Thomas. First and second now for Zane Saunders. He bats in the 3-hole today, cleaning up as Grant Garrett, so he'll stand on deck as the Rams threatening the top half of the first inning. Almost an unfair advantage as far as experience on the 2012 campaign. This will be the Rams' 5th game compared to just the first for Waterloo. Great hosts have been the Bulldogs, of course, as we missed the call and email over to Waterloo earlier. They called us back, and I've just been gracious ever since. Runners are going. It'll be inside. And that'll be a double steal as the catcher Campbell had some trouble with the transition from glove to hand. He has a pretty good cannon, but that'll be 2 in scoring position now for the Rams with 2 on and nobody out here at the top half of the first. So it's a 1-0 count here for Zane Saunders as he'll stand in. With the wind blowing out of the south-southeast. Here comes. He'll get a piece of that and send that for a ride in the right field. Klein's going to give chase. What'll happen? He'll make the grab. The runner's going to tag. Both will. And 1 run will score on the sac fly RBI by Zane Saunders. So Jones crosses the plate. Thomas heads to third base. Zane Saunders picked up the RBI. This win is going to be tough for those outfielders to make many grabs. But Klein played it well, was able to make the grab and get the first out of this top half of the first inning. The Rams on top now, 1-0. But apparently, Thomas may have left the bag too soon. So now the bases are empty for Grant Garrett. First pitch is going to the outside, but catches the corner, 0-1 to Grant. Of course, the right-handed catcher today. With 2 outs and nobody aboard the top of the first, the Rams with a 1-0 lead. Lefty Dylan Berger out of the lineup will fire. Here it comes, and that's going to miss in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike to Garrett. It is a windy day here from Waterloo. South-southeast, about 22 miles per hour is the register. I have a feeling they're going to gust higher than that at times. Inside to Garrett. Swinging and missing. It'll be 1-2. Can't do without Second Chance Auto, normally our halftime sponsor, but no halftime in baseball means, and we'll tell you that they have the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, priced for $10,000 in one location. Don't forget about great financing. Second Chance Auto, around 142 East in Mount Vernon. It looked like that was going to get cut on the outside corner to Garrett, but instead, ball 2. That counts even at 2-2, consistently on that outside corner, so no complaints. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Garrett. Dylan Berger will fire. Here it comes. Garrett will get a piece of it, foul it off, and it stays 2-2. 2 outs with nobody on. The Rams on top 1-0 over the Bulldogs. Apparently, the case was that LT left a little too early from second base, and so he was called out. It was a double play. As the next one's in the dirt inside for Garrett. Full count. Of course, if you'd like to communicate with us, you can always post on our Facebook page at WMIX Sports. Tweet us up at 94 Sports or email us 94sports at mywithersradio.com. The next one's inside to Garrett, ball 4. So that'll put a runner aboard for Colin Young. Young had a pretty good day at the dish yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. I know he had an RBI single and a double, finished 2 for 3 against Triad, and now stands in with a runner on first base and 2 outs, top of the first. Still 1-0 Rams. Glad to have you with us from Monroe County as the Rams battle the Waterloo Bulldogs. DJ Dylan Berger looks in, now looks back at first. He'll fire home. Here it comes. Young will lay off, but that's going to catch the black of the plate on the outside. 0-1. All things considered, 79, 78 degrees. It's a beautiful day here in Waterloo. Mostly cloudy, however. We'll take a break from the sun and keep the temperatures. The next one's high and tight. It's 1-1 to Young. Rams looking for their 5th win on the year already. Hard to believe we've gotten 5 games in, and it hasn't been cold or rainy. That could change overnight tonight with rain in the forecast. We'll check on the runner first. Back safely, it's Tyler Ellis, who is a courtesy runner for Grant Garrett. Remember this game a year ago, very, very windy back in the King City, even at the softball park, where it's not normally that windy. It's always windy at Brennan Klein Field, however, as they check on Ellis again. Not a play over there at first base. It wasn't quite as cold as it was windy. Temperatures, I believe, were in the 50s. But if you add wind to that at BK Field, it'll make it nasty. And this time they caught Ellis snapping. The throw will go down to second base. And now home plate umpire will call a balk as a bailout. So what should have been a 1-3-6 pickoff ends up as a balk. And to second base goes Tyler Ellis, a courtesy runner for Grant Garrett. So that'll draw the ire of the crowd. We should know Blue actually wearing blue today. We saw umpires in red yesterday in that game against Triad. It's wearing all the colors of the umpires they have to wear. Dylan Berger looks back at the runner Ellis on second. He'll fire home. And swung on a miss by Young, and I believe that makes the count 1-2. First pitch we've seen in a while is Dylan Berger checked on Ellis a couple of times at first base and then almost caught him napping, but did catch him napping. But the Rams got the benefit of a balk. Runner in scoring position, 2 gone, top of the first, still 1-0. Young will call time. He'll step out of the box, look down at Tim Holloway, and then step back in. Rams could use some offense to get started. Already have 1 across the plate with the sac fly RBI from Zonders. Pitch on the way. It's going to catch it. Going to miss inside, 2-2. Dylan Berger appears to have pretty good stuff and pretty good command. Now trying to get out of the inning with just the 1 run allowed. 2-2 count on Young, 2 out, runner on second. He'll take inside, counts full. Last full counted up as a 2-out walk issued to Grant Garrett. He, of course, has a courtesy runner to the forward Tyler Ellis. Ellis will get a nice little lead off at second base with 2 outs and a full count. Probably going. Here comes. That'll be a strikeout. Looked high, but it's a strikeout nonetheless. It'll be a backwards K. And we are through a half inning. It's 1-0 Rams. This is Mount Vernon Baseball on WMIX.
If you want a successful business, you need good partners. And if your need is printing, you won't find better partners than Mark and Carrie Smith.
Helping people is what we love.
But we need help with our financing.
That's why the Smiths and hundreds of local businesses trust Banterra. Banterra is the area's #1 financial partner, offering commercial loans, treasury management, and remote deposit services. With Banterra as your partner, you can concentrate on what you do best. Banterra, banking with local style.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Here's Jeff Schmidt for Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon.
The Equinox continues to really be a strong seller for us with 32 miles per gallon in a crossover. Easy to get in and out of the vehicle. The visibility is excellent, so people really, really like the Equinox. We have a great selection of the Equinox, and we have more coming in every day. So come on in and take one for a test drive. It's really a neat vehicle.
Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon, 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon.
Let's go back to the field, powered by Banterra Bank.
And we welcome you back to Waterloo as the Mount Vernon Rams lead the Bulldogs 1-0. We head to the bottom half of the first. We'll meet your Bulldogs batting order. Alex Whitnauer will lead off at shortstop. Your center fielder, Ethan Ruff, bats second. Cole Schaefer, the first baseman, bats third. Eric Beltman, your left fielder, will bat in the cleanup spot. Batting fifth at third base is Alex Hamilton. Eli Snodgrass is your second baseman, batting sixth. Your catcher, Joey Campbell, bats seventh. DJ Dillenberger, the pitcher, bats eighth. And Zach Klein, the right fielder, oddly enough, much like the Ram lineup, will bat ninth. So number 9 in the ninth spot. And the first pitch from Fulkerson. Just misses low. Ball 1 to Whitnauer. For the Rams defensively, the usual suspects in the usual places. Bradford, Thomas, Reeves left to right in the outfield. Zonders, Jones, Williams, and Floda from third to first. As the next pitch from Fulkerson to catcher Grant Garrett catches the outside corner of the right-handed Whitnauer. And the count is even at 1. Try to keep you updated today on Twitter. Follow us there at 94 Sports. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/WMIX Sports. The 1-1 Fulkerson, well located on the outside corner, and it's 1-2. Fulkerson, of course, had 7 strikeouts against Pinckneyville in a winning effort 1 week ago. So we got a nice little rest. He's back out there today against the Bulldogs, the sophomore. Appears to be locating well early. Gets on a breaking pitch this time. Garrett able to fire down the first. That'll be the first strike of the day for Brock. So 8 on the year now after that 7th strikeout effort 1 week ago. As we hit the bottom of the hour, of course, we will take care of that in just a moment. See what happens here to Ethan Ruff. Ruff, a left-hander, battling the righty Fulkerson with nobody on, 1 out, bottom of the first. Rams lead the Bulldogs 1-0. First pitch on the way, and that's going to be fouled off towards what looks to be a greenhouse. And it'll be 0-1 to Ruff. Rams baseball, of course, is presented by Banterra Bank. Banterra's online banking is convenient, efficient, and best of all, safe. Their security is your best defense. Banterra Bank, banking with local style. Member FDIC. Fulkerson's next offering comes in, ground ball, first base side. Nice diving stop by Floda. He'll tag the bag. And just like that, 2 away. Great diving stop by Trevor Floda on near the foul line. Simply tag the bag with his glove, and there's 2 away here in the bottom half of the first inning, and that'll bring up Cole Schaefer. Not a bad effort. We have a score update in that Ren Lake College consolation basketball game. We'll get to that in just a moment. Here comes the first pitch, high to Schaefer. It's 1-0. Can't tell which half because I haven't been following all along. I'd assume probably in the second half. Rain Valley on top of Rim Lake, 37-35. That's men's basketball action at the National Junior College Athletic Association Division II Championship. Second pitch to Schaefer. And it's 2-0. That's a tie as well. Next one's on the way. Swung on a miss, 2-1. Fulkerson's one of those kids that is tall and lanky and will cause you nightmares out there on the hill. Of course, that's a great teacher in his pop, who is nasty in his day as well. As the next pitch catches the inside corner, and that's going to be the key. And I know Danny C. will say that frequently as we see him pitch throughout the year. I told you that a week ago against Pinckneyville. Just has excellent location on the command of his fastball. Now, sends one down central, ups up a little bit, making a diving catch. Was it made by Thomas? He did. Great play by Thomas out there in center. And that sent us to the top of the second. Through 1, still 1-0 Mount Vernon. This is Rams baseball on WMIX.
If your definition of local is Southern Illinois and adjacent states, pay no attention to this message. Hi, I'm Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Others advertise the message of being a local community bank. However, Community First Bank is the only local community bank exclusively serving Jefferson County with 5 locations and 5 ATMs. In short, loans and deposits stay local and benefit you.
Community First Bank with locations in Mount Vernon, Woodlawn, Dix, and Ina. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Stick a reminder on your phone. Jot it down on the calendar. Or tie a string on your finger. Don't miss the Saturday Sports Show every week after the 8 o'clock news on AM 940 and MyWithersRadio.com. Scores, guests, content, networking, knowledge, the occasional argument, yada, yada, yada. We do it all. You might say we're a little versatile. It's the Saturday Sports Show on WMIX and MyWithersRadio.com, courtesy of Crossroads Community Hospital. More baseball action ahead on WMIX and MyWithersRadio.com.
And we welcome you back for the top half of the second inning. Due up for the Rams. It'll be 6, 7, and 8. Pat Bradford, Trevor Flota, Matt Williams. Here on Rams Baseball, of course, remind you, presented by Banterra Bank. Glad to have you with us here on AM 940 and online at MyWithersRadio.com. As we head top second, Rams up 1-0 over the Bulldogs of Waterloo here on the road. Here comes the first pitch of the inning. The righty Bradford, since it's a short. But now will pick it up, fire over to first in time. That'll be a 6-3 putout to get us started. So 1 pitch, 1 out here for the Bulldogs, and finally starting to show some precipitation on the radar to our west. That'll be interesting and somewhat unfortunate. As we look back, and here comes the pitch. Catches the outside corner to Trevor Flota. 0-1 the count. 23 pitches in that first inning, of course, for DJ Dillenberger. And we'll see what happens. Here comes the next one. Inside the Flota this time. Across the plate, apparently, and it's 0-2. So 1 out, nobody aboard, top of the second. Rams on top, 1-0 over Waterloo. And some rain possibly behind us. Here it comes. That's going to be in the dirt. That Trevor went around, and that's going to be a strikeout for Dillenberger, his second. All right. That'll bring up Matt Williams. 2 out, nobody aboard here in the top of the second. Rams on top, 1-0. Not sure how long it's going to take for that rain to get here, but there is some on the radar. First pitch on the way to Williams. It's in the dirt. It'll be 1-0 to Matty. Clayton Reeves on deck. Rams on top, 1-0. There was a sac fly RBI by Zane Saunders. That has been the difference thus far. Great defense by the Rams in the bottom half of the first to keep them out of trouble. The next pitch on the way catches the outside corner, all even to Williams. I remind you, we'll be looking for Community First Bank of the Heartland Player of the Game. Great traditions aren't given; they're earned through hard work and commitment. That's what they believe in at Community First Bank. And Matt Williams believes in sending this one deep to center field. Gave it a ride. It will be over the head of the center fielder. Williams is headed towards second base. Nice turnaround on the fluff throw. And that'll be a 2-out double by Matt Williams. That'll bring up Clayton Reeves with an RBI chance here at the top half of the second inning. Rams on top 1-0. Of course, Community First Bank believes that great traditions aren't given, again, earned through hard work and commitment. That's what they believe in. Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC. Here comes the first pitch to Reeves. Misses high, 1-0. Certainly hoping any rain stays away. We are prepared for it here, however. See what happens here on the next one. Dillenberger's going to take the second. Nobody there to cover for a throw. And that'll certainly get in the mind's eye of Mr. Williams. We need to pause for station identification. We'll do that now. This is Rams Radio.
You're listening to Rams Baseball on AM 940 WMIX, Mount Vernon, Bloomington, Paducah, and online at MyWithersRadio.com. A free service from Withers Broadcasting.
As the next pitch to Reeves. Edges on the inside corner. I have 1 ball and 1 strike to Clayton with 2 outs and the runner aboard second here in the top of the second. Rams on top, 1-0. Dillenberger looks back. The lefty out of the stretch will fire. Here it comes, and that's going to be high. 2-1. Scoreboard update a moment ago was presented by Tony Wilton, State Farm Insurance, for all your insurance financial service needs. See Tony Wilt, Mount Vernon on the corner of 42nd South Water Tower, or online at TonyWilt.com as the Reeves will swing through. And miss. The count's even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Don't forget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. 37 minutes past the 4 o'clock hour in the Central Time Zone. Glad to have you with us. 2-2's coming to Reeves. Swung on a miss. And that will do us through 1.5. It's still 1-0 Rams as they strand the runner. This is now for the baseball on WMIX.
Save some green with a free checking account from People's National Bank. A free checking account from People's National Bank comes with a free Visa check card, free online banking, free bill pay, and unlimited check writing. Save time, stamps, and the hassle with a free checking account from People's National Bank. Stop by either of our 2 locations in Mount Vernon today for details on how you can make your money bloom with a free checking account from People's National Bank.
People's National Bank, member FDIC, Visa check card and bill pay, non-usage fees may apply.
It happens every spring. You need a great quality vehicle. That's where Second Chance Auto comes in. Family owned for the past 32 years. Second Chance Auto has been the cure for spring new car fever. No one has a better selection of vehicles priced under $10,000. Almost all their vehicles come with a generous 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty. There are no dock fees, no shipping fees, and no processing fees like those new car dealerships. Just low prices. Second Chance Auto. Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Call 244-4582. Second Chance Auto.
Back to Rams baseball, powered by Banterra Bank.
And we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. 4-5-6 coming up for Waterloo as they trail the Rams 1-0. It'll be Belton, the cleanup hitter. Hamilton, Snodgrass to follow. Campbell, if anybody gets aboard. Fulkerson pitching very well today. Has 1 strikeout, some great defense behind him. First pitch, swung and a miss. It was down central, strike 1. 0-1 now to Belton. Let's see what happens on the next one. Here it comes. Nice breaking pitch. Just misses well on the sinker. 1-1. 1-1 pitch in route. Swung on a miss. Wolferson's doing a great job of mixing things up here in the 2nd. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Beltman falls behind. If you can't get to the bank during the stretch, don't worry. Bank in the stands is Banterra's cell phone bank. Banterra Bank. Banking with local style, member FDIC. Next one, swung on a miss, 1-2. And that will retire Beltman. So 2 frontward Ks on the afternoon, 9 on the year now for Fulkerson. As that'll bring up Hamilton. Fulkerson finished the first inning on just 11 pitches, compared to 23 after 1 for his counterpart, Dillenberg. Righty-righty matchup as Hamilton digs in, ready to go against Fulkerson. Garrett gives the sign, sets up, here comes the pitch inside, cuts outside. Great pitch on the cut fastball, 0-1. As we are in a race against precipitation. Doesn't look heavy on the radar, but my radar could be wrong as we'll go outside again, swung on a miss. 0-2 at Fulkerson again. Dirty thus far. Pitchers count, 0-2. Let's see what happens. Here it comes. Gets a piece of it, sends it to short. Jones will pick it up off the grass, fires across the diamond in time, 6-3. And there's 2 away. The Rams defense performing pretty well thus far. Had a couple issues to start the year, but has since made some nice adjustments. Zach Jones made a good play there at the short. That'll bring up another right-hander, Eli Snodgrass, second baseman. Will take his turn against Mr. Fulkerson. 2 out, nobody aboard here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Rams on top 1-0. Here comes the first pitch on the way. Catches the inside corner of the righty, 0-1. Not bad. Of course, we'll try to get you some updates from around the area and some of the other games going on if we can. Not going to promise anything. Here comes the 0-1. That is going to be hit to the first base side. Floater will dive in front of it. Didn't see Williams behind him. And getting the board will be Snodgrass. Williams is ready behind the play and just going to come up with it. Of course, that said, Snodgrass spun out the box, so there was no certainty of an out on the play regardless. With the runner aboard now, that'll bring up Campbell. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. As we await the first pitch, there it is inside again, 0-1 to Campbell. Willenberger on deck looking to help out his own cause if he can get on. He being Joey Campbell. over his shoulder. Now looks back. Here comes the pitch with the runner going. Garrett will fire. It's in time, and the runner's out. So it's all for naught for Waterloo here in the second as they're caught stealing. 1-0 Rams. This is now for the baseball on WMIX.
If I could change anything, you know what I'd change? I'd make it a law that if you tell someone to have a nice day, you really have to mean it. 100%.
Making your day better than it started out is what makes Erie Insurance above all in service. Auto, home, business, and life. Your Erie agent is waiting for you. And have a nice day.
Your Erie agent in Mount Vernon is the Bean Insurance Agency. Get a quote at beaninsurance.net.
If you want a successful business, you need good partners. And if your need is printing, you won't find better partners than Mark and Carrie Smith.
Helping people is what we love.
But we need help with our financing.
That's why the Smiths and hundreds of local businesses trust Banterra. Banterra is the area's #1 financial partner, offering commercial loans, treasury management, and remote deposit services. With Banterra as your partner, you can concentrate on what you do best. Banterra, banking with local style.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
For more insight, follow us on Twitter at 94 Sports. Back to the Rams on WMIX.
And welcome back as we head to the top half of the third inning. The Rams will send up the top of the order. Zach Jones, Landon Thomas, Zane Zonders to get us started. 35 pitches thus far for DJ Dillenberger as we head to the top of the third. Top of the order been fairly productive for the Rams with an RBI and a run scored, obviously. 1-0 as we head to the top of the third. Tried to avoid it, but there we go. Feel much better now. Sometimes you have to get that cough in. First pitch on the way in the lefty-lefty matchup will tail outside with a low to the lefty Jones. It'll be 1 ball, no strikes. Precipitation in the forecast. And now on the radar. Here comes the 1-0. That's going to miss low and away. 2 balls, no strikes to Zach. Be on the air tomorrow, maybe, depending upon precipitation that may or may not come through. Lady Rams softball against Hamco is the next one. Will catch the outside corner. It's 2-1 to Jones. Don't bank on the away team. Bank for the locals. Banterra, locally owned and operated. Banterra Bank, banking with local style. Member FDIC as Jones takes another outside. Looks like that might have been a strike. And it was. Whoa. So instead of 3-1, it's 2-2. Dillenberger will fire to Jones, and he'll take that one high. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Zach to get us started here in the top half of the third inning. Rams with a nice 1-0 lead, but will it be enough? That remains to be seen. Next pitch on the way. Was away. Ball. Strike 3. That'll be a backwards K for Zach, and Landon Thomas will step in with nobody on and 1 out. Got to get used to the timing of the mechanics, and my apologies to Blue. Certainly not trying to show him up myself. As Thomas stands in with 1 out, nobody aboard. Here comes. He'll take it. Strike on the outside corner, 0-1. I've got the timing down now. We're going to be good to go. Tim Holloway pacing down the third base coach's box. Here comes the 0-1. Outside. It'll be 1-1. Going to do without the help of Second Chance Auto. Of course, one of our many sponsors on Rams Baseball. They have the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, priced at $10K in one location. Ground supporters of the Mount Vernon Rams, it's Second Chance Auto, around 142 East. In Mount Vernon, 2-1 now, as that missed low and away to Landon Thomas. Again, bases empty, 1 out, top of the third. Still a 1-0 Ram lead. Dillenberger will fire. That's in the dirt. Should be 3-1. Try to keep an eye on the precipitation here for you. Obviously, back home, not much going on. Not looking too good here on the radar in the Metro East. 3-1 pitch in round. That'll catch the outside corner. Counts full. Interesting. Count is full for Dillenberger out of the windup. He'll fire now. Here it comes. Thomas got a piece of it. That's slicing towards left center field. Ruff will give chase. Makes a great grab. Nothing rough about that. 2 away. That'll bring up Zane Zonders. He hit his sac fly RBI, the difference in this one. Winds still on the south-southeast, gusting around 19, 20 miles per hour here in Waterloo. We're going to try to get a handle on that precipitation, see if that's even approaching us just yet. And which route it's headed. Here comes the first pitch. Zonders gets a piece of it. It's just short. Takes a wild hop, but Wittenauer recovers, throws across the diamond in time. So 1, 2, 3 go the Rams here in the third. It's 1-0 Mount Vernon. This is Rams Baseball on WMIX.
If your definition of local is Southern Illinois and adjacent states, pay no attention to this message. Hi, I'm Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Others advertise the message of being a local community bank. However, Community First Bank is the only local community bank exclusively serving Jefferson County with 5 locations and 5 ATMs. In short, loans and deposits stay local and benefit you.
Community First Bank with locations in Mount Vernon, Woodlawn, Dix, and Ina. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois proudly welcomes Dr. Brian Steinke to their medical staff. Dr. Steinke is an orthopedic surgeon specializing in spine surgery, treatment of the injured back, and will provide the newest state-of-the-art procedures in the region. Dr. Steinke is fellowship trained in spine and brings prestigious credentials to the center. Dr. Steinke is a gifted physician and contributor to orthopedic textbooks and will see patients starting in April. Call 618-242-3778 or visit their informative website at orthocenter-si.com.
This is Mike Reese. You're listening to the Rams on WMIX.
And we welcome you back to Waterloo, where we head to the bottom half of the third inning. Due up for the Bulldogs. The wind will calm down enough to let me tell you. It'll be Campbell again, Dillenberger, and Klein as well at the bottom of the order. Coming up for the loop. So 1 hit allowed, as we did credit that as a single down the first base side. Floated dove to try to catch up to it. Even if Williams had been able to come up with it, the runner still more than likely would have been safe. I know you can't assume an out or whatever. They were not going to have much of a chance on that one. Of course, I know some people credit that in error probably too. Here comes the first pitch inside to Campbell, strike 1. Here comes the next one, and that is going to be a check swing right back to Culberson. He'll fire to Flota, two-handed. Nice grab by Flota down at first base. That'll be a 1-3 to get us started. Brings up Dillenberger with the bases empty and 1 out. In the bottom half of the third inning with the Rams on top 1-0. And let's see what happens on the next. Here it comes. Right down central for strike 1, Dillenberger. He's behind the count, 0-1. All support the other team. Go green with Banterra's online bill pay and online statements. Banterra Bank, banking with local style. Member FDIC. Off speed. That's on full. Swung a miss by Dillenberger. Just came out in front of it. 0-2 is the count with nobody on and 1 out here for the Bulldogs in the home half of the third. Breaking pitch that time. Chip fouled with the backstop. Count stays the same. Tomorrow we have Lady Rams softball, barring any rainouts or anything of that nature at Lincoln Park. Lady Rams will welcome the Hamilton County Lady Foxes. Saturday, of course, remind you we had the Mattoon with the Rams for a doubleheader. 0-2 on the way. Misses low and away. 1-2. Try to update you on the RLC score here in just a moment as they're in the consolation bracket of the Junior College Association Division II Nationals. Nice pitch on the outside corner. Small and miss. It'll be the third strikeout on the day for Brock Fulkerson. That brings up Zach Klein, the right fielder, with nobody on and 2 out. Here in the home half of the third. Rams up 1-0 thus far. Looking to keep it that way and they continue to get this kind of defensive effort and pitching from Mr. Fulkerson. Might be leaving Monroe County with a win. Here comes the first pitch on the way. It's fouled towards the softball field. Heads up. It'll be 0-1 to Klein. Once on the way, showing bunt is Klein and missed 0-2. Tried to bunt his way on, missed, and that'll be strike 2, so that should take it out of play, you'd think. But if you're a good bunter, we've seen people risk it before on an 0-2 count. See if Fulkerson comes with here. Garrett set up behind the dish. Here comes the next one. This is just high. It's chest high. Above the lettering in Waterloo on the uniform, and it's 1-2 now to Klein. See what happens on 1-2. Fulkerson comes this time. Check swing. It's in the dirt. Held back. It's 2-2. eye, good hand-eye coordination even there from Zach Klein as he was able to hold up on the check swing with the ball in the dirt for Fulkerson. Still bases empty and 2 outs. Glad to have you with us here on WMIX and MyWithersRadio.com as this is going to be a ground ball to short. Jones picks it up. He's going to have to make a quick throw to first, not in time. It was just a roller. Probably needs to charge up on it a little bit more, and that'll be an infield single for Zach Klein, at least according to my rules. As there was very little likelihood of getting the runner out. No error was made, obviously. Clean fielded. Just somewhat of a slow roller in the grass. Jones picked it up, gave it with all his might. Lota held on to it, but just not in time. So with a runner aboard at 2 outs, it'll bring up Alex Wittenauer here in the home half of the third inning. Still making the adjustments to doing away games here on Rams Baseball. We have each and every pitch of each and every game for you on WMIX. First pitch from this outside. Ball 1 to Alex Wittenauer, who's 0 for 1 today. He fell victim to the first strikeout of the game. So Klein will get a marginal lead off of first base. Fulkerson, who's out of the stretch now, comes with it. Swung on a miss. Scoreboard, of course, not working today in Waterloo. First game of the season. Sometimes you just don't know these things that far in advance. Catch yourself fortunate that things have worked thus far back at home. Here comes the next one, inside corner. 1 and 2 now to Alex Wittenauer, the shortstop. He had a 1-2 count when he struck out back in the first. We'll see what happens here. The runner on first and 2 outs at the bottom of the third. Waterloo trails the Rams 1-0. Remind you the dimension 315 down the line, so probably about 350 at center. The runner's going. It's in the dirt. There won't be a throw. It's a good base running by Klein as he gets to second base on the steal. It's a 2-2 count to Alex Wittenauer. The count's even. Runner on second in scoring position now. Let's see what happens on 2-2. Fulkerson looks back over his shoulder. Here comes the pitch on the way high inside. The count's full. The thing you like about Fulkerson is that even though he gets sometimes in situations, especially last year, that might be rough for some, he doesn't let it phase him. So we'll see if he comes right after the batter here. Alex Wittenauer, instead of a throw behind the runner, he's back safe. Nice head first dive by Klein to get back after the throw from Fulkerson. Everybody's pretty well at normal depth. Center fielder playing straight away. Fulkerson looks in out of the stretch, has a runner at second. Pitch on the way, could be make or break. That's going to miss the outside corner. My apologies. So a 2-out walk puts runners on first and second. That'll bring up Ethan Ruff. He grounded out, of course, to Trevor Flota on a diving stop back in the first. .21 pitches by Fulkerson as he came into this half inning. Might have doubled here in the third. As we await the first pitch to Ruff, the lefty will send that opposite way. Great play off the hop by Harrison. Fires to first in time. And just like that, the Rams get out of trouble as Waterloo strands 2. It's still 1-0 Mount Vernon. This is Rams Baseball on WMIX.
Learn to live healthy, learn to live well, and learn how you can live free from unexpected medical expense with a major medical expense policy from Pekin Insurance and the Page Agency. Health insurance that covers hospital, medical, and surgical expenses offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount, too. Rising medical costs don't have to be a problem with a major medical expense policy from Pekin Insurance. This is coverage we hope you'll never need, but you just can't be without. Call the Page Agency at 242-7000 about a major medical health insurance plan today.
If you want a successful business, you need good partners. And if your need is printing, you won't find better partners than Mark and Carrie Smith.
Helping people is what we love.
But we need help with our financing.
That's why the Smiths and hundreds of local businesses trust Banterra. Banterra is the area's #1 financial partner, offering commercial loans, treasury management, and remote deposit services. With Banterra as your partner, you can concentrate on what you do best. Banterra, banking with local style.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
This is your home for Rams Radio, WMIX.
And to the top of the fourth we go. The Rams on top 1-0 over Waterloo. It'll be Garrett, Young, Bradford coming up, otherwise known as 4, 5, and 6 for the Rams. However, there could be some lineup changes coming as Tom Fulkerson will have a chat with the home plate umpire. Told you to try to keep you updated on that Red Lake College men's basketball game, so we'll try to get you that score here in just a moment. From the consolation bracket of the National Junior College Athletic Association. Last check with a minute 27 to go. We do have a final score now. Red Lake falls to Moraine Valley, 67-62. So the Warriors season is over at Nationals in Danville. That scoreboard update is presented by Tony Wilton, State Farm Insurance. For all your insurance financial service needs, see Tony Wilton, Mount Vernon on 42nd South Water Tower, or visit them online at TonyWilton.com. Walk in, call in, or click in like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. No updates to report really from anywhere else as of yet. We'll let you know if that changes. So Garrett will get us started. And here comes the first pitch from the new pitcher, number 23, Whitmauer. As Garrett will stand back in to take the second. Here it comes. Ooh, just catches the outside corner. Try to get to know the rest of the defenders here in just a moment, see what kind of changes were presented here in the top half of the fourth. Nobody on, nobody out. Garrett, of course, gets it started. There's a 1-2 count on the Ram catcher. Next one's on the way. It is low. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Garrett. Again, glad to have you with us on WMIX. We probably need to get around to identifying ourselves as we hit the top of the hour. We'll do that after this at bat to Grant Garrett. 2-2 is the count with nobody on and nobody out as he gets it started. It's still 1-0 Rams. Pitch on the way from Whitmauer. Misses inside. It's a full count. It's a good job by Garrett to battle back. Was down 0-2. Now 3 straight balls from Whitmauer, the new pitcher who starts it off. Next one's on the way, high inside. Now it'll be a leadoff walk to Grant Garrett. Top of the hour. We'll pause for station identification. This is Rams Radio.
You're listening to Rams Baseball on AM 940 WMIX, Mount Vernon, Carbondale, Cape Girardeau, and online at mywithersradio.com. A free service from Withers Broadcasting.
48 pitches for Dillenberger, who started this game. Whitmauer on in relief. He started out at short for Waterloo. We'll try to get to know some of these defensive changes. Can't really read the numbers that well in the front of the unis. Here comes the pitch. Runner's going. Ellis, courtesy runner. Throw will get into center. Ellis will stay put at second. Ellis stole the base, and that throw is going to pull the second baseman off the pack, and we'll have a timeout. We'll meet at the mound to try to settle everybody down with the new arrangement out here defensively for Waterloo. Chris Hugo with you here today. Danny Zerwinski on assignment, not making the trip. If you're looking for the 94 News at 5, you'll tune over to 94.1 FM, where the news today is brought to you by Wednesday, so it's People's National Bank, and Ford Square, King City Chrysler Center. Again, can't see the numerics on the front of the uni that far to know if there's really any significant changes. Schaefer is still at first, we can tell you that. Beyond that, can't see that well. Young stands in with a 1-0 count. Runner on second, nobody out, takes one outside. Just misses to the right-hander Young. Unofficially 2-0. Yes, sir. Appreciate Blue throwing that up for us every so often. 2-0 the count to Young, runner on second, an RBI chance here in the fourth. Time called. And this is the mound, mind you, it's presented by Ford Square and King City Chrysler. We're the best ever rest back in Mount Vernon. Always appreciate Ford Square, King City Chrysler supporter, Rams Athletics here on WMIX. Looking back, Whitmauer on the runner, Tyler Ellis. He'll fire home, but that's going to miss outside 3-0. It's a good eye by Colin Young to get started 0 for 1 today. He struck out on the full count offering to end the first. One of those that was borderline ball strike. It ended up going the way of the Orange. Rams of the black today, Waterloo the orange. Something offensive happened for Waterloo on the softball dive. This one's fouled out of play. And it's 3-1 to Colin Young. I have no issues with that cut there. Really don't, because he's going to be the obligatory 3-1 anyway, so give a hack at it, foul it off. So when they score over there on the Waterloo side, they make a lot of noise. It sounds like thunder. It's not thunder, we understand, although there is a lot of wind here out of the south-southeast. Going to make things interesting if this precipitation comes through here over the next hour, hour and a half. Young will stand back in. The count 3-1. Nobody out at the top of the fourth. Rams on top 1-0. Pitch is on the way, and that'll be fouled back. Heads up. This is the girl playing in the ditch, and the count's full. I told you, Whitnauer, the new pitcher, Dylan Brooker, I think, came out. Still trying to discern the front of the uniform numbers to see who might be where. Out of the stretch with the runner on second will come the pitcher, full count. This is outside, and that'll be back-to-back walks. The Rams have runners on first and second as they look to threaten here with Pat Bradford coming up. He grounded out to short his first time up, back in the second. Has an RBI chance here in the fourth as the Rams looking to add some insurance runs. Scoreboard update from girls soccer yesterday. The Lady Rams beat Centralia 7-0. That's brought to you by Tony Wilt, State Farm Insurance. Warner had a hat trick yesterday. Tell you more about Tony after this first pitch to Bradford. But now it looks back, fires. That's going to be high overhead. Bradford got out of the way. That's what we want to know. For all your insurance financial service needs, see your local State Farm agent, Tony Wilt. He's on the corner of 42nd South Water Tower, Mount Vernon, or you can find him worldwide at TonyWilt.com. Walk in, call in, or click in. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Pitch to Bradford on the way. Shot third base side. The runners will advance over to first base in time. So a 5-3 fielder's choice on path, and it does advance the runner. Now they'll bring up Trevor Flota. Flota struck out his first at bat back in the second. This will be his first time against Whitnauer. The defense in the infield has moved to double play depth. The outfield at normal depth. Center fielder is playing straight away. Still not close enough to see what the front uniform numbers are on the changes. His Florida will swing and miss the first pitch, 0-1. We will award a Community First Bank of the Heartland Player of the Game. If you're tired of big corporate banking, you have a choice in Jefferson County. Community First Bank is at home at Dixon and Woodlawn and Mount Vernon. Welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC. Welcome back to a ground ball to second. They'll come home with it. Throw is high, and the run will score. So Ellis, great slide there at home plate. The throw is high. So Flota will reach. Fielder made the wrong choice by possibly on that, 4-2. However, Ellis came around to score, and it's 2-0 Rams. So that brings up Matt Williams, who hit a bomb to deep center earlier for a double. Even with these decreased dimensions, 315 down the line, there's not going to be a lot of power with these new bats. 2-0 now the score here. Rams on top. They'll check on Flota back at first. No tag. He's back with a head first dive. Remind you that tomorrow we have Lady Rams softball for you. We always like to pass along the programming notes. Lady Rams will battle McLeansboro tomorrow. 4:15 your pregame here on AM 940. Williams will show bunt. He'll pull back. Flota will take second. They look Young back to third. I believe Williams did take the strike, so it's 0-1. Oh, 0-1, the count to Matt Williams with runners in scoring position, second and third. He'll pop that behind us, foul. Falls behind 0-2. One out here in the top of the fourth. Rams have played it a run, and it's 2-0 Mount Vernon on top of Waterloo here in Monroe County. A long trip to Waterloo if you take the interstates. Always worth it. Great community they have here. Beautiful facilities. As we wait the 0-2, here comes to Williams. He'll foul that off opposite side. We'll get out of play. First baseman gives chase. Looks out of play. It'll stay 0-2. Still can't see the front of the uniform numbers and see who might be where. They're going to watch for the punt. With just the one out, the Rams on top 2-0. Looks like Augustine might be the second baseman. Here comes. Breaking pitch. It'll be the short misplay for the shortstop. A run will score. Williams will get the first. E6. And the run scores. Brought it up in his glove and just had issues getting it into his hands, but tried to play off the hop. But ultimately allows another Ram run to cross the plate as Young crosses. Makes it 3-0 with runners at the corners and one out. That'll bring up Clayton Reeves. Clayton struck out to end the second. Now has an RBI chance in the fourth with runners with corners. One out here for the Rams on top 3-0. Shows punt gets down first base side foul. And it'll be 0-1. Avery Barton is with us back in the studio. Glad to have him alongside this afternoon for Rams baseball. Chris Hugo with you. Danny Zawinski on assignment, not making the trip to Monroe County. He'll be back with us tomorrow, weather permitting, and he will make the trip with me to Coles County. That'll be on Saturday after the Saturday Sports Show, of course, which comes your way each and every week at 8:08. Lasts until 10 o'clock here on AM 940 and online at mywithusradio.com. Conference at the mound, of course, called by the catcher. And we will get back to business. The right-hander Whitnauer on in relief. We'll get you his pitch count here as the inning wraps. But we'll see what happens with runners at the corners. One out, the 0-1 count to Clayton Reeves. Whitnauer looks to the runner at third. Right-hander out of the stretch. Catcher set up, and Reeves will call time. Campbell is still your catcher. We do know that for sure. And we also know that Schaefer is still at first base. I don't see any left-handed throwers, so I'm assuming the pitcher clearly out of the game. Oh, looks like they had Matt Williams picked off at first base, but must have somehow just gotten back. Looks like they had him totally picked off, and it looks like they had Ellis picked off earlier, but Rams have certainly gotten the benefit. We wait the pitch to Reeves. They'll check at first again. Safe again. This time standing up back to the bag went Williams. Williams has been a defensive blessing for the Rams this season. Of course, when you replace your middle infield, you wonder who's going to be able to step up as Campbell and Whitnauer will confer yet again at the mound. Try to decide what they want to do with Reeves. One out, runners at the corners, a 3-0 Ram lead as they played at 2 here in the top half of the fourth, which after a quick first 3 innings seems to be moving at a snail's pace. Of course, this will be the 6th batter of the inning for the Rams and for Whitnauer. See what he comes with here. Reeves feigns bunt, and that'll get away on the wild pitch. Whitnauer slow to cover, and the run will score. It's floated across the plate. It is now 4-0. And great heads-up stuff there by Williams, who goes all the way from second to third on the wild pitch. And they'll have conference there, the umpire, the coach, and the player. But Williams safe at third, a little bit of lax there on the defense. And Williams took advantage as he made it all the way to third base. And we'll have a conference at the mound with a coach in his infield. This visit to the mound is presented by Ford Square. There's nothing more attractive than confidence, and yours will be at an all-time high if you buy a new Lincoln at Ford Square. Not only do you get a great offer, you also get the standard 4-year, 50,000-mile maintenance plan only from Ford Square. Where the best never rests. Hogs behind us. It is that time of year. Always great to see the motorcyclists out riding their choppers, their hogs, what have you. Right now, the Rams have played at 3 in the top of the fourth, and we're going to see a new pitcher. This time, it looks like it'll be good old number 50. prepared for rain here, so not everything is just out in front of us with no table. Number 50 is Jeremy Reddick, a sophomore. Augustine is at second. We can see that now. Not sure if anything else has really changed. Derek Augustine. Would not appear that much has changed around the diamond from earlier. So we'll welcome the sophomore pitcher. What is your random Bob Carpenter trivia fact today? Did you know that Bob Carpenter originally started out as play-by-play in St. Louis in 1984 for the Sports Time Cable Network? Probably didn't know that. May not have cared, but my goodness, as long as we have these Bob Carpenter books for the next 6 years, you're going to hear a lot about him. 19, and so basically pretty well the same around the horn. I don't believe the outfield changed one bit. The Snodgrass simply moved over to short. There we go. Finally have it figured out. In the infield, in just a nick of time, it's here in the fourth. The Rams lead 4-0. It's 3 across the plate. Here comes the pitch on the way. Reese will show bunt. He'll get it down. The runner able to go third. Now it will come after the throw to first. That's 2 outs. Now it'll go down as sack bunt RBI for Clayton Reeves. Count at 1-3 as Williams came around to score. Great base running by Matt Williams that entire track, and it's now 5-0 Rams. Still, you make the trip over here and you lead 5-0. You don't feel like you're seeing what Waterloo is fully capable of. This is their first game of the year. Brings up the top of the order, Zach Jones. He'll take outside, ball 1. 2 outs now for the Rams. The base is empty. 4 runs across the plate. It is 5-0. Rams on top. Here comes the next to Jones. Catches the outside corner, 1-1. So they switch pitchers. Reddick is the new one. They switched to the middle of the Reeves at bat, and Jones will get a piece of one barely. Tap to Augustine at second. He'll fire to first in time. So a 4-3 retires the side here in the fourth. The damage has been done. It's 5-0 Rams through 3.5. This is now for the baseball on WMIX.
Hi, Roy Schmidt at King City Chrysler. When you think of the all-new Chrysler 200, the line imported from Detroit immediately comes to your mind. When it comes to character, comfort, and fuel efficiency, its capabilities extend well beyond its mid-size shadow. This is not a style as a concept. This is design as a practice. This is the new Chrysler 200. This is a car that projects beauty beyond a footprint. Because when you build the new Chrysler 200, you have promises to keep. The all-new Chrysler 200 sedan is really an amazing automobile. Come into King City Chrysler today and receive huge cash discounts on 10 remaining 200s in stock, or receive 0% for 72 months. We may be able to lower your existing payment and you drive a new car. At King City Chrysler, 1603 Broadway in Mount Vernon, Illinois, where you can count on us.
For more content, like WMIX Sports on Facebook. Back to the Rams on WMIX.
And we welcome you back to Waterloo as we head to the bottom half of the fourth inning. For the Bulldogs, it will be Schaefer, Bettman, and Beltman in Hamilton to get us started. 3, 4, and 5, the meat of the order coming up for the Bulldogs. The Rams scored 4 in their half of the first to make it 5-0. We'll see what Fulkerson's up to here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Pitched very well so far. 3 strikeouts on the afternoon. Here comes. First pitch of the inning to the right-hander, strike 1. So Schaefer, the first baseman, falls behind. 0-1. See what the 0-1 begets. It'll be 1-1, low and away to the right-hander. So Schaefer has it evened up. 1 ball, 1 strike. He flew out to center on a great diving catch to end the first inning by Landon Thomas. See if this next pitch offers. It's going to be down the line, right field side. That is a fair ball. Picked up by Reeves and Ryan. It'll keep it as a single. Slowly off single. That'll be the first time the leadoff batter's gotten aboard here for Waterloo. See if that makes things interesting. Maybe, maybe not. That brings up Eric Beltman, the left fielder. Just to notice, we've often made mention of the colors the umpires wear, light blue, but the softball umpires across the way. In the Waterloo O'Fallon game, swung and a miss with the first pitch by Beltman. He struck out back in the third. Second. I don't know why I'm off today. And 0-1 is a count to the left fielder. Nobody on. Excuse me, one on and nobody out. 5-0 is the Ram lead. That is going to be sharply hit. Looking at turn two. The throw from Williams high, and Flota able to come away with a great turn there by Jones, Williams, and Flota for the 6-4-3 double play. And now the bases are empty with 2 outs. Great job by Jones. Hard hit ball to short. He's picked it up, scooped to Williams. Williams stepped on the bag with his back foot, was able to throw off to Flota, who just reached up with the net and brought it down. Great effort by the Rams defensively, and here comes Hamilton. He'll take a ball inside. Pretty high, pretty tight on that fastball by Brock Fulkerson. 3 strikeouts for the afternoon, looking for number 4. 1-1, swung on a miss. Now it's 1-1. So go from 1-0 to 1-1. Which I suppose could be confusing. Probably should just say 1-0. That particular instance. Next one's going to just miss low and away. Fulkerson falls back behind, 2-1. Next one in or out. Going to catch the inside corner. Counts even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alex Hamilton, 2 outs, nobody aboard here in the 4th. Ground ball right back to Fulkerson. He'll pick it up, he'll run it away, and then throw it to first in time. The 1-3 will end us through 4. Still 5-0 Rams. This is Mountain of Baseball on WMIX.
If you want a successful business, you need good partners. And if your need is printing, you won't find better partners than Mark and Carrie Smith.
Helping people is what we love.
But we need help with our financing.
That's why the Smiths and hundreds of local businesses trust Banterra. Banterra is the area's #1 financial partner, offering commercial loans, treasury management, and remote deposit services. With Banterra as your partner, you can concentrate on what you do best. Banterra, banking with local style.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Stick a reminder on your phone. Jot it down on the calendar. Or tie a string on your finger. Don't miss the Saturday Sports Show every week after the 8 o'clock news on AM 940 and MyWithersRadio.com. Scores, guests, content, networking, knowledge, the occasional argument, yada, yada, yada. We do it all. You might say we're a little versatile. It's the Saturday Sports Show on WMIX and MyWithersRadio.com, courtesy of Crossroads Community Hospital. More baseball action ahead on WMIX and MyWithersRadio.com.
And welcome back to Rams Baseball on WMIX, online at MyWithersRadio.com, driven by Banterra Bank. Whether retirement is years or months away, open a retirement account that fits your lifestyle perfectly. Banterra Bank, banking with local style. Member FDIC. 2, 3, and 4 to get the Rams started at the top of the 5th, up 5-0. It'll be Landon Thomas to start, followed by Zane Zonders and Grant Garrett. Believe it or not, the Rams scored 4 runs on no hits back in the 4th. 3 of them were earned runs. Here comes the first pitch to Landon. Looks like it's in the dirt, 1-0. Reddick, of course, the pitcher, took over in the middle of the Reeves at bat back in the 4th, so technically faced, jokingly, 1.5 batters. As we await the 1-0 to LC, here it comes. That's going to be inside, dirty, 2-0. A lot of Rams fans able to make the trip here today, understandably. It's quite the distance. Here to Waterloo, plus an early start, 4:15. Here comes the next one. Foul tip. It'll be 2-1 to LT. Landon Thomas played the bulk of the year last year in right field. Makes the switch to center this year as Zach Jones became the new shortstop. After playing much of his Ram career in center field after Mike Swin had moved to shortstop and center. That was many moons ago. It's Thomas going to foul this one straight back. And we'll thud in the dirt behind us. It'll be 2-2. Try to pull up the weather for you, see what the radar. Find out what happens here in just a moment. Thomas will stand back in. The count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. He gets it started here in the 5th. On the way, and he will send this towards the right. Klein makes the grab, gets underneath it, 1 away. Who will be your Community First Bank of the Heartland Player of the Game? That is a great question. Familiar faces, new places, Bank with Ray and Bria, Community First Bank's new 42nd Street location in Mount Vernon. Welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC. Saunders stands in. First pitch, strike right down the middle, 0-1. One's in route. Nice pitch by Reddick. That'll catch the inside corner. It's 0-2 to Zane. Saunders had to sacrifice fly RBI back in the first. First run of the game. And time called as a softball foul over here. Again, it is Waterloo and O'Fallon on the field adjacent to us. Watch from the view of the scoreboard. Otherwise, we'd update you on that game quite frequently. It's nice to see such a great complex they have here in Waterloo. 0-2 is the count to Saunders. Off speed that time. Fouled off first base side. It remains 0-2. We're in the top half of the 5th. The Rams on top of the Bulldogs by a score of 5-0. Reddick on the hill. Third pitcher by the Bulldogs today. He'll fire one in. Check foul by Saunders, and he'll stay 0-2. Ooh. It's one of the benefits of two schools battling each other to have the exact same school colors. Is that unless you hear somebody cheer, you don't know who's rooting for whom. There's some Waterloo students mixed in with the Rams faithful over here that made the trek. And 0-2 is in the dirt. 1-2 now to Zane. Garrett on deck. He's walked twice today. Alice, his courtesy runner, scores in the 4th after a stolen base. Saunders fouls off the 1-2. That is headed towards the visiting bleachers, and luckily hits the screen on the backstop of the softball field, so it doesn't appear to harm anybody, thank goodness. See what Saunders is going to have to deal with here. Count is 1-2. This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. So a good at-bat by Saunders. He'll choke up, grip it a little tighter, and we'll see if the right-hander fires here. Off speed that time, sent opposite way. Shouldn't be a problem for Augustine. He'll fire to first in time, 2 away. So a game that started quickly, it was moving quickly. Slowed down somewhat back to the top of the 4th. Fulkerson, who moves quickly as a pitcher, likes to get business done. Made the bottom of the 4th move pretty quickly, and now we're here in the top of the 5th with 2 outs and the bases empty for Grant Garrett, who walked back in the 1st and then walked to lead off the 4th. Both of those were after full counts. Here comes the first pitch to Garrett. High fastball, swung and missed. 0-1. For all your insurance and financial service needs, call Tony Wilt, your local State Farm agent. Find him on the web at TonyWilt.com or at the corner of 42nd South Watertower in Mount Vernon. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and that pitch is there as well. Blown away, but just catches the back of the plate. 0-2 here to Grant Garrett. Nobody on, 2 out here for the Rams. Top of the 5th inning, up 5-0 over the Bulldogs. A rematch of last year's sectional championship game, and that's going to miss low and away to Garrett. Gets his first ball. It's 1-2. My weather app's apparently worthless because it shows precipitation right on top of us. But thankfully, nothing yet. As Garrett rips one right to the third baseman Hamilton. 5 unassisted does us through 4.5 rather. 5-0 Rams. This is Mount Vernon Baseball on WMIX.
If your definition of local is Southern Illinois and adjacent states, pay no attention to this message. Hi, I'm Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Others advertise the message of being a local community bank. However, Community First Bank is the only local community bank exclusively serving Jefferson County with 5 locations and 5 ATMs. In short, loans and deposits stay local and benefit you.
Community First Bank with locations in Mount Vernon, Woodlawn, Dix, and Ina. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hometown proud Baroviax IGA. There's a better way to shop today, Baroviax IGA. If it's Baroviax Hometown proud for all the X-I-G-A.
Let's go back to the field, powered by Banterra Bank.
And welcome back to Waterloo as we head to the home half of the fifth. It'll be Snodgrass, Campbell, and the pitcher spot due up here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. 5-0, Rams on top. Again, they played at 4 in the top of the fourth. Have been doing a great job of keeping it a shutout. Brock Fulkerson, of course, deserves a lot of the credit there, as does the defense behind them. All performed well today. No errors on the day by the Rams. 3 base hits allowed, that's all. So this is not Snodgrass. Here comes the first pitch on the way. It's inside, just misses. To Austin Campbell. Next one's on the way. Misses high, 2-0. Number 12, Austin Campbell. Next one's on the way. Swung through. Count becomes 2-1 here to Campbell. Starts us off bottom of the fifth inning. The game that got underway. First pitch came at about 4:17. Now a strike on the outside corner will even things up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fulkerson gets ready, fires again. Swung right through by Campbell. And so after a 2-0 count to fall behind, Fulkerson battles back, gets his 4th strikeout of the afternoon. All was surprising. That'll bring up Joey Kimball, the catcher, 0 for 1 today. He grounded out to Fulkerson back in the third to lead off the inning. Now with 1 out, the base is empty. Steps in again. That's going to be high overhead, 1-0. Don't strike out. Take control of your health care expenses with a tax-advanced health savings account. Banterra Bank. Banking with local style. They are the official voice of the Rams here on WMIX. The next one misses low and away to the right-handed Campbell, 2-0. So we saw this a batter ago. Fulkerson get behind, 2-0, but then fires 3 straight strikes to get the K. 5-0 your score. Rams on top. Next one's high inside, 3-0. So Garrett will stand up, calm down his pitcher, but Fulkerson not the time to get too skated. Usually remains fairly calm, even in situations of adversity. Here comes 3-0, and that's going to be 3-1 across the outside corner. 3 balls and a strike, Joey Campbell. He actually started to bat in the second, and Snodgrass tried to steal second base and was thrown out to end the inning. This one right across the plate. Full count, 3-2. With 1 out and nobody aboard here in the home half of the fifth inning. Rams sure would love to get out of here with a victory. Moved to 5-0. Next one, swung on a miss. So back-to-back strikeouts here in the fifth from Fulkerson. Give him 5 on the day, 12 on the years. He's looking to personally improve to 2-0. Pitched very well against Pickneyville 1 week ago today. Able to run one run back of the first, and that was it. Now this one's going to be line to left center. Falls in front of Bradford for a base hit, so it's 2-out base hit for Augustine. That'll bring up Zach Klein. He had a single back in the third and a stolen base, but was later stranded there. Now a runner on first. The first pitch single for Augustine puts the runner on board with 2 outs here in the fifth. Still a 5-0 game, and this one's going to be driven to center. Retreating is Landon Thomas. He'll make the 2-handed grab. Fundamentally sound. That does it through 5. Still 5-0 Rams. This is Mount Vernon Baseball on WMIX.
Hey, moms and dads, don't stay up at night trying to figure out how to pay for your kids' education. There's no need to worry. I send my kids to Rend Lake College. RLC offers the same high-quality education as a 4-year school at a fraction of the cost. Plus, they get to stay close to home. Tuition, room, and board are like $19,000 every year at the 4 years, according to the National Center for Education Statistics. At RLC, tuition, books, and supplies are only approximately $4,000. That's Math 101. And with over over 100 degree and certificate programs, they have the exact courses your kids need to be well on their way to a great career. Give your college-bound child the quality education they deserve without breaking the bank. Rend Lake College is the right choice. Whether your student plans to transfer to a university or train for direct entry into the workforce, call RLC at 437-5321 to speak to a counselor. I actually logged on to rlc.edu. That's rlc.edu.
For more insight, follow us on Twitter at 94 Sports. Back to the Rams on WMIX.
And we welcome you back to Waterloo as we head to the top half of the sixth inning. Due up for the Rams will be 5, 6, and 7. Colin Young, Pat Bradford, and Trevor Floda. Barring any lineup changes for the Rams, we'll have a new pitcher in the form of Brumfield. He'll be the fourth pitcher on the day for Waterloo. Campbell moves to third base. Coming in to pinch hit for Snodgrass, that's Austin Campbell. Joey Campbell remains behind the plate. Moving to short is Hamilton. Augustine's still at second. It looks like Schaefer's still at first. Klein is still in right field, but beyond that, cannot see the front of the uniforms. We will assume that Ruff and Feltman are still out there in play. Colin Young will get us started. Bradford and Flo to follow here in the top of the sixth inning. The Rams on top 5-0 on the road, looking for win number 5 on the year. I do not believe the Rams started off 5-0 last year. They lost to Waterloo. I believe Triad and Waterloo on back-to-back days last year on a Tuesday and Wednesday in March. It was a colder March back then. This year's been very warm to start the season. You just wonder when we're going to pay for it. We know it's going to cool down overnight tonight as somewhat of a cold front wafts through. We'll see how that impacts Saturday's game against Mattoon, both of them on the road in Coles County. It's a doubleheader. JV doubleheader will be back at home at BK Field. Here comes the first pitch of the inning to Young. That's inside tight. 1-0. From field out of the windup. Here he comes. Inside again, but that's over the black of the plate inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Second Chance Auto helps present Mount Vernon Rams baseball here on WMIX. They have the largest selection of vehicles priced at $10,000 in one location. Bank rate financing, what's not to love about Second Chance Auto, proud supporters of the Mount Vernon Rams. On Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. High and tight, too young. It's 2-1. Here it comes, and that's going to plunk. So an HBP to start the inning. He puts a runner aboard here. Good things happen when Colin Young gets aboard. He scored his last time. It was the second run of that 4-run fourth inning. So batting for Bradford will be Josh Gately, number 5. First pitch is outside, 1-0. Brownfield comes with here. When the top half of the sixth inning with the Rams, a runner aboard and nobody out. Haley stands in, takes the ball. The dirt that's going to get away. Young is going to take second base. It'll be 2-0 to Josh. Good to see him get in the game. As he pinch hits for Pat Bradford. And we'll have a conference to the mound, presented by Ford Square King City Chrysler Center on Broadway in Mount Vernon, where the best never rests. And, of course, you can always count on us. Ford Square King City Chrysler, proud supporters of the Mount Vernon Rams. This is Bob in the Hour. We'll go ahead and pause for station identification. This is Rams Radio.
You're listening to Rams Baseball on AM 940 WMIX, Mount Vernon, Effingham, Terre Haute, and online at mywithersradio.com. A free service from Withers Broadcasting.
Conversations with Mound. Coach Vogel and his pitcher Brumfield started off here in the sixth. Plunks calling Young to start the inning. Young then took second base on the pass ball. And now an RBI chance for Josh Gately with a 2-0 count. Brumfield a fire. Here it comes right down the middle. That's going to be lined back to second base. The race back to the bag. Will it be a double play? It will. So 4 unassisted double play on the liner. And Trevor Floda will step up with 2 outs and the bases empty here in the sixth. The Rams on top 5-0. Row. Floda stands in. Takes Takes a pitch across the outside corner. He actually grounded into a 4-2 fielder's choice. Back in the fourth inning, he was safe at first because they went home with it, and the runner scored. And uploading is a piece one in the left center field. Ruff will give chase, make the grab, and that does us through 5.5. Still 5-0 Rams. This is Mount Vernon Baseball on WMIX.
After disappointing results in last year's sectional championships, Mount Vernon Rams baseball and Lady Rams softball look for more hardware in 2012. WMIX is your home for every pitch of Rams baseball and a great assortment of Lady Rams softball. Tune in to AM 940 on game day and log on to mywithersradio.com to hear the Rams and Lady Rams worldwide. Mount Vernon Rams baseball and Lady Rams softball only on WMIX and mywithersradio.com. Presented by Banterra Bank, banking with local style.
With the housing market picking up and rates still low, this could be the perfect opportunity to get back in the game. Hi, this is Joy Schrader, mortgage specialist with People's National Bank in Mount Vernon. With a wide variety of mortgage options at People's National Bank, we have the perfect loan for you too. Stop by 413 South 34th Street and let me help you get into the house of your dreams.
People's National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Back to Rams baseball, powered by Banterra Bank.
And we welcome you back to Waterloo as we head to the home half of the sixth. Top of the order coming up. As we'll have to get out our rosters again. Fulkerson on for another inning worth of work. The Rams are on top 5-0. First pitch to leadoff batter is low. 4-1. Pitch Browns into the game, senior outfielder. That is a 1-0 count. Here comes the next pitch to the right-hander. Misses inside. 2 balls, no strikes. 5-0. Rams on top. Wonder if it's coincidence. They're up 5-0, looking for win number 5. 2 0s on the way. High and tight. 3-0. Don't get caught looking at an embarrassing situation. Make sure you've opted in your debit card for overdraft purchases. Banterra Bank, banking with local style, member FDIC. 3 0s in round. Here it is, right across the plate. 3 balls to the strike to Brown. Nobody on, nobody out, of course. Brown gets started here in the home half of the sixth. Next one's on the way, swung and a miss. Something about the composure of Brock Fulkerson. Doesn't get rattled when he falls behind in the count. We saw him last year give up a few home runs in his first start of the year as a freshman. Throw 10 strikeouts. So here comes the next one. That's going to be sent for a ride in the left center. Thomas calls off the left fielder Gately, and will make the grab. So Landon Thomas there again. 1 out. That'll bring up Ethan Ruff. Ruff is 0 for 2 today. He's grounded out to first. Again, we remind you, that was the one that Florida had to dive for on the foul line. Came up and tagged first base with a mitt. While still on the ground, nonetheless, and he also grounded out to third. A great play. This one will be just past the glove of Fulkerson, and that'll be a 1-out base hit for Ruff. Just hopped over the glove. It was held high in the air and just hit that mound in an awkward way. Took a wild hop towards center field. So a 1-out single for Ruff brings up Cole Schaefer. Schaefer singled back in the fourth. He flew out to first to end the first. Flew out in the first to end the first. 5-0, still your score. The runner on and 1 out here in the home half of the sixth inning. Fulkerson fires. Gets the strike call. It was held high on Schaefer, right down the middle. 0-1. The RLC Warriors season comes to an end at the Nationals up in Danville. All freshmen this year for Randy House and his team. It's a tie and tight, 1-1. We'll try to get that score for you again in just a moment. I neglected to write it down. I probably forgot to retweet it on our Twitter page, at 94 Sports. 1-1 to count to Schaefer. Runner on, 1 out here in the sixth. That's inside, but it catches corner, 1-2. 5 strikeouts on the afternoon for Brock Fulkerson. Looking to move to 2-0 on the year, he is. It'd be 5-0 for the Rams if he can hang on. Dillenberger still in position to lose this one, as the next pitch on the way is high, and it's 2-2. See if we can find that. Yeah, Rend Lake College, the Warriors fell 67-62 to Moraine Valley to end their season. Next one's on the way, and that's going to be lined in the center. Long fly ball, and that's going to be grabbed by Landon Thomas. Worth his weight in gold. Unfortunately, his weight's not very heavy, but you can triple that, and he'd still be worth 2 outs on the inning. Both belong to Landon Thomas. Scoreboard update a moment ago was presented by Tony Wilt, State Farm Insurance. Find them online at TonyWilt.com or at the corner of 42nd South Watertown, Mount Vernon. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is theirs. The first pitch to Eric Beltman is going to be popped up to center. And guess who makes the grab? Landon Thomas, and that'll do us through 6. Still 5-0 Rams. This is Confident Baseball on WMIX.
More Americans are on the move today than ever before. One of the most popular modes of transportation is the motorcycle. Motorcycles take us to our jobs, school, to the beach, and all around the country. If you're a bike rider, your Pekin Insurance Agency, Page Insurance on Crownview in Mount Vernon, wants to make sure you have the best insurance protection while you're riding. Ask about the money-saving auto cycle discount and the experienced driver discount, too. Call Page Insurance at 242-7000 today about motorcycle insurance from Pekin Insurance.
If you want a successful business, you need good partners. And if your need is printing, you won't find better partners than Mark and Carrie Smith.
Helping people is what we love.
But we need help with our financing.
That's why the Smiths and hundreds of local businesses trust Banterra. Banterra is the area's #1 financial partner, offering commercial loans, treasury management, and remote deposit services. With Banterra as your partner, you can concentrate on what you do best. Banterra, banking with local style.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
For more insight, follow us on Twitter at 94Sports. Back to the Rams on WMIX.
And we head to the top of the 7th. The Rams on top of Waterloo on the road, 5-0. Chris Hugo with you. Danny Zawinski on assignment, unable to make the trip today. Avery Barton is back at the studio. Another new pitcher for Waterloo is number 32, Schneider. Jake Schneider is his name. Story on him is that Jake is also a first baseman, but a senior on this year's Waterloo squad, a junior that would have been on the team that went 33-4 last year and brought home 3rd place in Class 3A. 8-9-1 to get us started for the Rams. Williams, Reeves, and Jones, barring any changes to the order. First pitch from the right-hander is going to be sent down the third base line for a base hit by Williams. And that'll be a single for Matty Williams. He'll round. Some trouble within the outfield. He'll go ahead and make the trek to second base, where he is in there safely. So that'll be a single. I have a hard time giving him a double. I'm going to go single in E7. Because no way should that have been a double. But Williams, with smart base running yet again, gets to second base and creates an RBI chance for Reeves. Snyder looks back. How the stretch time was called. Reeves will get it. That's one of those where you hate to grant time. The time is already granted. The pitcher just didn't see it. Right on second. Nobody out for the Rams. Top of the 7th inning on top 5-0 here on the road at Waterloo. Looking for a 5-0 start to the season. Here comes. Reeves shows butt, pulls back. The last lap belongs to the pitcher Snyder. That caught the outside portion of the plate. 0-1. 5:45. Been a fairly quick game thus far, but that can change. Don't want to jinx it. Runner on second, nobody out. 0-1 to Reeves on the way. Gets a piece of the foul. It'll be 0-2. Probably about 5 feet above me here behind the backstop. Reeves falls behind. Still has an RBI chance here, though, with one on and nobody out. Schneider, the pitcher, out of the stretch, a right-hander here. Looks like it's a decent fastball. Next one's on the way. Some bend to that. It'll be 1-2. Good eye by Clayton Reeves. 1-2 the count. Runner on second. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Rams on top 5-0. Schneider looks back to the runner on second. Williams fires home. Reeves will reach out for it. Send that to right center. Ruff will make the grab. And Williams has got to stay put. So one away here in the top of the 7th. Believe it or not, I'm going to sound insane. The Rams have 5 runs on just 2 hits. check with Tim Holloway's stuff on Max Preps later, but that's very interesting. Jones fouls one off back towards the high school. And the lefty falls behind 0-1. He had a double to lead off the game. Gave it a ride. Looked like it might have cleared the fence, but it went underneath the fence. As my perspective for that one obviously would not have been the greatest. So Jones stands back in behind 0-1 here in the 7th. With one out, a runner in scoring position, pitches on the way. We'll wait to catch up with the off-speeder, send it foul down the first base side this time, 0-2. We'll see if Jones is going to come back and throw in the 7th. 76 pitches for Fulkerson today, or if Fulkerson is going to be allowed to finish off his masterpiece. Williams with a nice lead off the second base. Snyder concerned with Williams. Has an 0-2 on the batter. I'd be more preoccupied with that. He'll step off of the rubber and regroup. Williams really hasn't moved. Leaning back towards second, trying to feel where the shortstop is. Leans back towards third now. The pitch is in the dirt. It's 1-2 to Jones. About 12 minutes shy of the top of the hour on WMIX and online at mywinthersradio.com. DC will be back with me tomorrow, weather permitting, as the Hamilton County Lady Foxes come to Mount Vernon to battle your Lady Rams. Lady Rams in action today against Cobden as the next pitch outside to the left-handed Jones, 2-2. Zach, as a pitcher, has 2 saves and a hold this year. Had the save and a hold against Salem, as he pitched 2 innings in that one. Then had his second save yesterday against Triad. Next one's on the way. Swung on him. Fouled it. So we'll keep Jones alive here, 2-2. Rams baseball presented by Banterra Bank. Score an extra base hit with a Banterra's Visa debit card. It provides the convenience of a checking account and a card. Banterra Bank, banking with local style. Runner on second, 1 out for Jones, 2-2. Delivery on the way is inside. That'll turn him around. It's full count. Jones had to twist in towards us to avoid the plunk. And now it's a full count on the way. 1 out. Runner on second base. The Rams on top 5-0 here in the top of the 7th. They'll fake towards second base. Off of the mound, and we'll reset. Not sure who your player of the game is going to be at this juncture. We'll decide in the Bean Insurance postgame show. Pitch on the way to Zach, and he'll send that for a ride. Right center field. That one's going to continue to loft, and that'll get to the fence for Jones. Williams is going to be waved around to score. Jones is headed for third base. He'll be told to slide. And Zach has a 1-out RBI triple. Man, oh man. Zach Jones comes up big again on the base paths. It's no wonder he is the senior leader of this team as Matt Williams comes around to score to make it 6-0. 6 runs now on just 3 hits. They got 4 hits for the Rams. That'll bring up another lefty, Landon Thomas, to battle Snyder, the righty. I believe trying to contest that Matty might have not have touched third base on the way. As the throw went down to third and an appeal. Umpire said safe and will play on as Thomas stands in. Landon is 0 for 2 today. He walked and was out at third, back at the first. Actually, I believe he just did. He didn't tag properly, and that's why he was out. 1-0 the count on LT with a runner on third, so an RBI chance for Landon here in the 7th. He'll pop that straight up. That'll go behind us. Almost a catch in the hat. Impressive. Caught it off the hop, however, by the young man behind us. We'd have asked his name if he would have caught it in his hat straight up. We'll throw a couple of balls in here. Snyder will reset. The count is even. 1 ball and 1 strike to Landon Thomas. The runner on third base, 1 out in the 7th. Rams lead 6-0. It's inside to Thomas. He'll turn around and look at ball 2. Jones gets the lead off the third. Snyder keeps an eye on him. Now fires home. Inside out and by Thomas behind us. The count's even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stops the 7th. In a game that has moved fairly rapidly as we approach the 6 o'clock hour. Started at 4:17. Normally used to those 4:30 starts back at home at most of the places we go on the road. As the next is high and away, 3-2, full count to Thomas. He had a full count back in the third, flew out to his counterpart in center field. Also went a full count back in the first, and he walked. What'll happen this time? He'll pop up left side of the infield. Hamilton, the shortstop now, will call off the third baseman and make the grab behind the third base bag. So 2 outs now and a runner on third for Zane Saunders. Zane had a sac fly RBI back in the first to make it 1-0. Believe it or not, thus far, just the difference in this one is the Rams lead Waterloo 6-0. First pitch on the way. Saunders sends that opposite way through the hands of Schaefer, the first baseman, so an RBI single for Saunders. Schaefer never had a piece of that. It's 7-0 Rams. And that'll bring up Grant Garrett. Garrett, I believe, is your player of the game against Civic Memorial. That award is presented by Community First Bank of the Heartland. Your community, your choice, your bank. With 5 locations with friends and neighbors on staff who understand your needs, Community First Bank keeps it simple. Welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC. Shot, third base side, foul. It'll be 0-1 for Garrett. I'll look for the schedule and tell you where all the Rams are over the course of the next week. I have to send my bag somewhere. Probably long gone by now, to be honest with you. No, here it is. We have a runner on first, 2 outs, top of the 7th, a 7-0 ball game, and it's in the dirt. 2 Grant, 1-1. We told you the Rams are idle tomorrow and Friday, doubleheader at Mattoon on Saturday. It is a busy, busy week next week for the Orange and Black. We know we're at Benton on Monday. First one's on the way, or next one's on the way, rather, in the dirt, 2-1. Runner on first, 2 outs, still 7-0, top of the 7th. Of course, we bring you every pitch of Rams baseball here on WMIX. Effingham comes to town on Tuesday. Lombard Montini on Wednesday. Take the streets to Alsop on Thursday, then at DuQuoin on Friday. The game against Harrisburg will be moved no longer on Saturday. So that is your schedule through next week. Busy week of Rams baseball. And again, we'll have all those for you here on WMIX, and we look forward to each and every one of them. Check on the runner at first. Saunders is back with a head-first dive. Garrett the batter with 2 outs here in the 7th. Rams have added 2 more. 7-0 ball game. The runner's going. Looks like a low ball, but the runner, Saunders, is going to be safe as the throw got away. So we'll see if that was a strike or a ball. Looks low, but I don't want to speak for the umpire. Didn't see the arm go up, but we'll see. Indeed, it is 3-1. Thank you, Blue. We appreciate it. Saunders are going to lead off the second base with 2 outs. Here comes the pitch to Garrett. Foul tip into the middle of the catcher. The count's full, 3-2. Rams have played pretty well to start the year. Always hesitant to make a judgment this early in the season on whether a team's going to be great or not, as Garrett swings to the off-speed and misses, and that'll do us through 6.5. 7-0 Rams. This is Rams Baseball, presented by Banserra Bank.
If your definition of local is Southern Illinois and adjacent states, pay no attention to this message. Hi, I'm Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Others advertise the message of being a local community bank. However, Community First Bank is the only local community bank exclusively serving Jefferson County with 5 locations and 5 ATMs. In short, loans and deposits stay local and benefit you.
Community First Bank with locations in Mount Vernon, Woodlawn, Dix, and Ina. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Here's Jeff Schmidt for Schmidt Chevrolet Cadillac in Centralia.
Cadillac, it's a Cadillac. Right now they have free maintenance. You don't pay for an oil change or tire rotation for the 4-year, 50,000 miles. You get 1 year free OnStar with navigation. It's got the best warranty in the business with a 4-year, 50,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus a 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. No other car can compete with that.
Schmidt Chevrolet Cadillac, 1421 West McCord in Centralia.
This is Mike Race. You're listening to the Rams on WMIX.
And we welcome you back here to Waterloo as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Last chance for the Bulldogs. The Rams with a 7-0 lead over the host Bulldogs. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 coming. Hamilton, Campbell, barring any changes to the lineup for the Bulldogs. Fulkerson, who has 76 pitches on the game, will return for a 7th inning of service to try to get the complete game shutout. He allowed just 1 run last week against Pinckneyville in 5 innings. Pick up the complete game victory and had 7 strikeouts. He has 5 thus far today. We'll see what he can finish with on the afternoon, but has had some great defensive help behind him. First pitch of the inning, swung and a miss outside, 0-1 to Hamilton. Next one's on the way, inside corner, paints the black, 0-2. Rams baseball presented by Banterra Bank. With Banterra's mobile banking, you can check your accounts online from the bleachers. Banterra Bank, banking with local style. Bender misses inside, 1-2 to Hamilton. 7-0 your score with nobody on, nobody out. Of course, Hamilton starting us off here in the home half of the 7th. Wilkerson looking for the K. Here it comes out. Missed outside. My apologies, 2-2. So Hamilton staying alive, 2-2 count, even Stevens. Coming from Wilkerson, and that'll plus the batter. So hit by pitch to start it off, but the Bulldogs have a base runner here in the home half of the 7th inning. Rams looking for win number 5, hoping to celebrate that the rest of the day before some practices the rest of the week. My method of celebration will be stopping at a local C-store to pick up some migraine pain pills. As the Rams are on top 7-0, nobody out, and a runner aboard here for Campbell. Foul tip, it'll be 0-1. Looks back to the runner on first. Nobody out. Bottom of the 7th. Pitches on the way, and that's going to be a ground ball. Fulkerson, he'll pick it up. Fire to first in time. Took a wild hop and hit the dirt in front of the batter's box. Then took a wicked bounce back to Fulkerson. So the 1-3 put out will be the first out of the inning, and it does advance the runner Hamilton to second base. It'll bring up Joey Campbell with 1 out. Again, bottom of the 7th. Rams on top 7-0. Over the Bulldogs. We reminded you earlier and have periodically that it is a rematch of last year's sectional championship won by the Bulldogs at Sprague Field in Seatown. First pitch to Campbell's on the way. Catches the outside corner to the right-handed batter. It's 0-1. Bean Insurance post-game show will come your way after this, as they will check on the runner at second, and Hamilton's back in safely without a problem. Fulkerson peers into the catcher, Garrett. Campbell at the plate. 0-1 the count. Here comes the next pitch. Lays off. And they'll discuss at the plate. And now they'll pitch around closer to the mound. That's probably a little bit wiser. 1-1 the count, 1 out. A runner aboard here for Waterloo. They trail 7-0 here in the home half of the 7th inning. Bean Insurance is an independent agency that can do the insurance shopping for you. Bean Insurance has multiple top insurance companies from which to choose with great rates for your family. Give Bean Insurance a call at 244-BEAN. Next one's on the way, and that's going to be ripped for a base hit into left center field. Thomas quick to get there. A run may score, and it will. It's Hamilton across the plate, and the Bulldogs get their first run of the season. Proves to be an RBI single for Joey Campbell. So that'll erase the shutout. We'll have a courtesy runner for the catcher. Zach Dunker, the courtesy runner. As Augustine stands in, he'll swing and miss the first offering. 0-1. 7-1 ball game. Rams on top of the bottom of the 7th here. Trying to take a win home back to Mount Vernon. Runner on first. 1 out. No 1 count on Augustine. Now the second baseman takes inside. It'll catch the inside corner. 0-2. Klein stands on deck for the Bulldogs. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. 6-run ball game. Fulkerson looking to improve to 2-0. Count, however, is the reciprocal of that, 0-2. Of course, not really a fraction, but be that as it may. 0-2 pitch on the way, off speed, swung on a miss. First base not open. That'll be strikeout number 6 for Fulkerson. 2 away and down to their final out of the Bulldogs. It'll be up to Zach Klein to keep it going. He is 1 for 2 today. He singled and stole a base back in the third when he was stranded. Flew out to center back in the fifth. So he's batted in the odd-numbered innings here against Brock Fulkerson. Next pitch is on the way, high inside, 1-0. We'll also have your Heartland and County post-game stats at the end of this one. Tell you how many runs, hits, and errors both teams had. Tell you the winning pitchers. And losing pitcher. Here comes the pitch on the way. Swung on a miss. 1-1. Because the losing pitcher for Triad may not, or excuse me, Waterloo may not be whom you think. 1-1, misses high. Klein got out of the way, and it's 2 balls to a strike. Interesting. Follow us on Twitter at 94 Sports, or like us on Facebook, WMIX Sports. Tie, foul ball behind us. Counts even at 2-2, and down to their final strike of the Bulldogs. Runner on first, 2 gone here in the bottom half of the 7th. Rams looking to get out of here with a victory. Fulkerson looks in against Klein, looks back over his shoulder at the runner on first. Will this be it? Here it comes. Inside to the low, full count. A run is scored already. Hamilton, who was hit by a pitch off a 2-2 count, came around to score on the RBI single by Joey Campbell. They'll check on the runner at first, back with the dive. And we'll do it again. Full count here on Klein with 2 gone in the bottom of the 7th inning. Will the Rams start the season 5-0? Let's see. Fulkerson out of the stretch. Garrett set up behind the plate. Here it comes, and that is going to be hit deep in the left center field. Gately will get underneath it and will make the grab. And the Rams are 5-0 to start the year as they beat Triad 7-1. We'll tell you all about it in the Bean Insurance postgame show. This is Rams Baseball on WMIX.
If you want a successful business, you need good partners. And if your need is printing, you won't find better partners than Mark and Carrie Smith.
Helping people is what we love.
But we need help with our financing.
That's why the Smiths and hundreds of local businesses trust Banterra. Banterra is the area's #1 financial partner, offering commercial loans, treasury management, and remote deposit services. With Banterra as your partner, you can concentrate on what you do best. Banterra, banking with local style.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
You're listening to Rams Baseball on AM 940 WMIX, Mount Vernon, Bloomington, Paducah, and online at mywithersradio.com. A free service from Withers Broadcasting.
Hey, moms and dads, don't stay up at night trying to figure out how to pay for your kids' education. There's no need to worry. I send my kids to Rend Lake College. RLC offers the same high-quality education as a 4-year school at a fraction of the cost. Plus, they get to stay close to home. Tuition, room, and board are like $19,000 every year at the 4 years, according to the National Center for Education Statistics. At RLC, tuition, books, and supplies are only approximately $4,000. That's Math 101. And with over 100 degree and certificate programs, they have the exact courses your kids need to be well on their way to a great career. Give your college-bound child the quality education they deserve without breaking the bank. Rend Lake College is the right choice. Whether your student plans to transfer to a university or train for direct entry into the workforce, call RLC at 437-5321 to speak to a counselor. I actually logged on to rlc.edu. That's rlc.edu.
Your heart health is too important to ignore, and St. Mary's Good Samaritan wants to help educate you about your heart risk factors before it's too late. So mark your calendar and tell your friends about the upcoming St. Mary's Good Samaritan Heart Expo and Health Fair on Saturday, March 24th from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Holiday Inn in Mount Vernon. You'll have a chance to have a heart risk profile blood test completed for just $30, as well as a number of free health screenings, a chance to learn your diabetes risk, find out more about the link between sleep problems and heart disease, and much more. To reduce wait times for blood testing, you are encouraged to pre-register now by calling 1-888-257-6098. That's 1-888-257-6098. For most accurate results, be sure to fast for 8 hours prior to blood testing. Do it for your health. Attend the St. Mary's Good Samaritan Heart Expo and Health Fair on Saturday, March 24th from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Hi, Roy Schmidt at Ford Square, Mount Vernon. The 2012 Ford Fiesta. This automobile delivers smiles like no other car in its class. With unsurpassed highway fuel economy and bright colors like lime squeeze and yellow blaze, it's easy to see why. Of course, the 2012 Fiesta also helps you make and take calls without touching your phone, and switch songs while your MP3 player is tucked away. Plus, receive turn-by-turn navigation instructions on a 4-inch LCD display, and enjoy the peace of mind from 7 standard airbags, including one that protects the driver's knees. Are you starting to grin? Available in hatchback or sedan, Fiesta is such a joy to drive and be with that many owners actually name theirs. To feel it yourself, come into Ford Square today and let's talk at 1501 Broadway in Mount Vernon, Illinois.
My brother Paul was a real Renaissance man, a big city ER doctor, an outdoorsman, and always the smartest person in the room. When he was killed in a Deere vehicle collision, I thought it was a freak accident, but I was wrong.
Each year, Deere vehicle crashes cause death, damages, and injuries. And about 1 in every 100 drivers is likely to have a collision with a deer. For tips to avoid hitting a deer, visit EerieInsurance.com.
A message from the Bean Insurance Agency and Erie Insurance.
This is Mount Vernon Rams baseball on WMIX. The Bean Insurance postgame show starts now.
Chances are you're paying too much for auto insurance. Discounts await at the Bean Insurance Agency, but you won't know how much you could possibly save until you give them a call. Bean Insurance 244-BEAN. That is 244-BEAN. Final here from Waterloo as the Rams pick up their 5th win of the year. This time it's the Bulldogs on the road. 7-1 is your final. The Rams picked up 7 runs on 4 hits with no errors. They stranded 3. Waterloo had 1 run on 6 hits and 2 errors. They stranded 4. Brock Fulkerson picks up the complete game win. He is 2-0 on the year now. That's 13 strikeouts on the season after he picked up 6 today. Took 1 hour and 47 minutes to play this one. As the Rams are 5-0, Waterloo falls to 0-1. They're on the road tomorrow at Westland. Rams are idle until Saturday's doubleheader at Mattoon. Those stats were certified by Heartland Accounting. Get started right and let Heartland Accounting help make your business a success. Heartland Accounting, 3000 Broadway, Suite 2B, your small business expert. We'll take a break, come back with your Community First Bank of the Heartland player of the game. 7-1 is your final. The Rams are 5-0 to start the year. This is Rams baseball on WMIX.
It happens every spring. You need a great quality vehicle. That's where Second Chance Auto comes in. Family owned for the past 32 years. Second Chance Auto has been the cure for spring new car fever. No one has a better selection of vehicles priced under $10,000. Almost all their vehicles come with a generous 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty. There are no dock fees, no shipping fees, and no processing fees like those new car dealerships. Just low prices. Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Call 244-4582. Second Chance Auto.
If your definition of local is Southern Illinois and adjacent states, pay no attention to this message. Hi, I'm Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Others advertise a message of being a local community bank. However, Community First Bank is the only local community bank exclusively serving Jefferson County with 5 locations and 5 ATMs. In short, loans and deposits stay local and benefit you.
Community First Bank with locations in Mount Vernon, Woodlawn, Dix, and Ina. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
More baseball action ahead on WMIX and MyWithersRadio.com.
Time now, of course, for your Community First Bank of the Heartland player of the game on your Bean Insurance postgame show. Chris Hugo with you today. Every Barton is back to the studio. The Rams win this one 7-1 over Waterloo on the road. They pick up win number 5 on the year, and it is tough to pick your first player of the game here this afternoon. A lot of kids played well both defensively and offensively. And this is going to probably be the toughest call. Probably should have thought about it during the break, but the beauty of live radio is you can hear me argue with myself on the air. I'll tell you what, I thought a kid who was money today, both defensively, didn't get as many defensive chances as he normally would, but played well. Matt Williams of the Year Community First Bank of the Heartland Player of the Game, 2 of 2 today. He did reach on an air back in the fourth, but he'd also scored 2 runs. And for that effort, Matty Williams is your player of the game. Great traditions aren't given, they're earned through hard work and commitment. That's just what Community First Bank of the Heartland believes in. Proud sponsors of the Mount Vernon Rams. A great tradition. So Matt Williams, your player of the game for his effort today. And that's pretty well going to do it for us. For Avery Barton, back to the studio. For everyone at Withers Broadcasting, on behalf of our sponsors, thank you for listening to Mount Vernon Rams Baseball. We're back on the air tomorrow with Lady Rams Softball, back from the King City as they'll take on the McLeansboro Foxes. You won't want to miss that. Danny Zawinski will be alongside with myself. 4:15 pregame, weather permitting, back at home. That'll be at Lincoln Park. You'll want to join us also online at mywithersradio.com for all of that and more. Your final here today from Waterloo. The Mount Vernon Rams 7, the Waterloo Bulldogs 1. I'm Chris Hugo. Good afternoon.
Thank you for listening to Mount Vernon Rams Baseball on WMIX and online at mywithersradio.com. Rams Baseball has been presented by the official voice of the Mount Vernon Rams, Banterra Bank. Banking with local style. The Mount Vernon Rams on WMIX are also sponsored in part by Ford Square and King City Chrysler. You can count on us, Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to Personal Banking. State Farm Insurance Agent Tony Wilt. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Second Chance Auto. Good Samaritan Regional Health Center. Raising a hospital. Raising the bar. Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon. Rend Lake College. Visit your virtual counselor at rlc.edu.
Helping
and
bring
also
you the
by
best assortment
the
of local
Orthopedic Center of
sports.
Southern
This-
Illinois. Heartland Accounting. All Stars and Stitches. Bean Insurance. Central Christian Church. And People's National Bank. Your home for news, talk, sports, and America's best music. WMIX.